Hi and welcome to Watch Me Code episode 9. So when we last left off, I was kind of puzzled as to why it was that our telescope wasn't actually getting used. So if you actually look at the log file, you'll see it's actually doing a git checkout. So the first thing that we look at is if we look at that number 6 warning, we'll see there's this 6 is admin errors, and so if we go here, we actually see there's dependency errors loading some plugins, and it's complaining that we have a plugin that's too old. So let's go and correct that issue. And here's the git plugin, and let's download and install, and we can restart. And that should now fix that particular issue, because once it restarts, we should have the appropriate plugin dependencies and everything should be fine. The reason it didn't update was I had some snapshots in there, and that was marking the plugin as being pinned, and so the HPI plugin wasn't fixing things for us. So if we actually reload this page, see Jenkins is restarting, and we can watch, there it is, going back again. And now, hopefully, this should give us a working Jenkins. So it's still complaining that that's older than required. So somebody is playing monkeys with us. So let's look at the POM file. We've got that required there, but something is not actually updating that for us. So let's see, cd work plugins, star.pinned dash, let's HPI run again. So it's those pin files that are most likely to have been causing the issue. It should be copying over. Copying dependencies. So there you can see the git one. And it's not copying some because it's newer. And again, somebody is killing us. What is causing this? Plugins. Or git star. F. Who is giving us the git plugin incorrectly? Have we got multiple declarations on git? Nope. So what's this coming from? Will not overwrite. Copying SCM, that's fine. SSH, jQuery, that's fine. Copying dependency. Git client. So something is falling over. So there's something dying there, and that's probably because we have the wrong version of the sync HTTP client for something else. Will not overwrite that guy because that one's newer. Oh, okay. Right. So work plugins async stop. Right, let's try again. See if we can get back to a working plugin. So you can see it went with a newer version than we want. Started, fully up and running and looking good. Starting Git pub sub request, that's fine. We're back to just 5 administrative monitors, which is fine because we're not really looking for those kind of things. Now if we go to test, now we go to Maven, scan now, and let's go to scan log, and let's see what we get. So again, oh, that might not be the log. Odd. That is the log. So why is it not picking that up? Right. At this point, we're going to go and debug. So we want to execute Maven in debug mode. It's going to listen for socket on 8000. And so now at this point, we need to edit configurations. And I'll just create again. So let's go with remote. I want 8000. And I call this one MVN debug. Right. So if we attach this here, let's wander over here, and I'm going to set a breakpoint on supports, and I'm going to set a breakpoint on this guy here, and let's see why this is not getting looked up. So we've started Maven debug HPI run. This is getting us our thing. If we now attach the debugger, it's attached. Got 2 of them open. This guy's the one attached, so he's okay. And now let's go here. Scan multi-branch now. So here we go. Builders. So this is the source. Okay. First builder is our telescope. Okay. So source is source owner. That's okay. Get owner. Get remote. So now remote starts with Gitbox. So Gitbox does not start with remote, and okay, grand, fine. Problem is that we should have this the wrong way. Remote starts with this guy, or remote starts with. So there we go. Debugger. Sometimes you just have to go with a debugger to find your crazy comparisons. So we had several things going on there. Now, Jenkins is fully up and running. Scan multi-branch now. Let's go look at the log. Now this shouldn't have the Git version stuff. Listing remote references. Okay, we have some good progress. We're actually not going with Git, we're going at checking branches, and we're checking branch master. At this point, we're now saying we've got a null pointer exception from SCM file system child. And that would be as expected. because if you look here, we're returning null and we're not supposed to. Return new SCM file. Now, we don't want a new SCM file. We want a new ASF get SCM file. So that's returning the file, but we need to do some more with that. So at this point, we want remote, we want head, we want revision. That passes supervision, so let's go with here. Private final string remote. Private final string head. And we've got revision, so let's go with this remote equals remote. This head equals right. So head instance of get tag SCM head. I've got constants for tags plus head name, otherwise constants for heads plus head get name. That should be that one. Now last modified. Well, we have get timestamp remote credentials ref or hash. So let's go with get right. Let's go with this guy. We can just copy. Sometimes copying is better. Let's make this static and package visible and move it up here. Right. And instead of ref a hash, we've got head. Right, okay, so get revision equals null head colon get revision right get revision so revision instance of SCM revision impl question mark revision dot hash colon head. In 10 seconds a milli needs to come up here. And let's make it package visible as well. So that's that, and now let's wander over to ASF get SCM file. So this is going to need to actually do the digging into the file system. So we need the remote and we need the revision or hash. Now, you know what? I want to treat this slightly differently. So head. Let's go instead with right. Let's rev. Let's rev. Yes. I have instance of null. Right, so that becomes this one. This rev, this becomes this. Okay. Ref or hash. There we go. So this is a ref or hash that we've initialized from here. So the git SCM file needs to know the remote and the ref or hash. So we want private final string remote, private final string ref or hash. Constructor. So we don't need remote or hash on this guy. So this one, remote equals parent. This guy, these guys here. Parent dot remote. Parent dot ref or hash. This guy is going to be package, as is this one. And now over here, this becomes remote ref or hash. Now, here's where we hit some fun. To list, class modified, type, content. So at this point, we should have something. So let's go to type. Let's just go with regular file for this guy, and we'll go with new byte for the input stream. New byte 0. So this is going to kind of be completely return new this comma name. So this is most of the implementation. We have bits that we need to implement. We need to implement children, last modified, type, and content. But this should now, at least, what have I still got that server there? Server equals, there you go. Don't do that. So because we're saying everything is a file, we're going to discover every branch now when we actually do a scan, because it's going to assume everything has a Jenkins file, even though nothing has, or some of them do, but everything's going to get discovered. So if we go here, reload, and let's scan multi-branch, and let's look at the log. So we now have checking branch master, checking branch, Jenkins file found, Jenkins file found, Jenkins file found. So everything's got Jenkins files found, because we've got our SCM file with a stub implementation. It's finding Jenkins files. It's not scheduling builds for any of these. So if we now look over here, you should see we've got all those branches, and we've got the tags, so on. And you'll notice that because we have that get default branch, we have master being returned as the default branch. So if we look at these, no automatic builds, and so on. So let's see what it said. So there we go. So that's that bit, and that's kind of working. So at this point, we now need to actually deal with these particular sections. So getting the type, getting the content. So this type information, if we return regular file, or if we throw file not found, or if we return directory, that's where we get the important to be able to detect the Jenkins file. And then this content stuff is going to be what actually gets us the important information as to the file. Now, content should be the easiest to implement because we don't have to do any scraping. So let's do content first. So if we look at a particular repository, let's go to the tree view. So we got this hash, refs, and hash base. That's fine. What we're after is the raw information, and so we want blob plain, and we go with A, F, and in this case we go with HB because it's hash base, the hash where the file exists. So this is the URL we want to build. So A, F, and HB. All right. So let's grab some code again. And that should give us our URL. So let's go here. Blob plain blob URL. Right, so it's going to be ASF get file system build server. So A, F, and HB. So in this case, HB is going to be ref for hash. Commit is going to be blob plain, and F is going to be get path. And then we're going to have to go new URL, blob URL, open stream. So that should be the get content, and it'll IO exception if it's not a file, and it will do all the nice fancy things. It'll do interrupted and so on, and the responsibility for closing that stream is with the caller. So that's that one. This regular file. How do we know if something is a regular file or not? So we could look at blob. Blob might actually give us something. So let's try putting in a file that doesn't exist and see what happens. Git ignore.back. Well, apparently that file did exist. Git ignored. Apparently that file does exist. This is kind of crazy. Does not exist. Let's get rid of that H. So that does not exist. I wonder if something is going. Git ignored. So there we go. The H was throwing us off by actually giving us some information as to the actual file that was being added and kind of assuming the name. So HB is actually what we want. So git. So if we do a get on this guy and we get a, let's see what the status is for this. Let's give ourselves another thing. Curl minus I. Lovely. It gives us a 200 for a 404 on the head. Let's just go minus V. Okay. What does it give us? It gives us a 200. That's a 404. Yes, very restful this. Yes. Maybe there's a different way. So let's look at tree. Tree. So maybe if we just get the parent directory tree and look for the file in it, Now, what happens if we have a lot of files? Hopefully, well, let's look here. Tree. Bum, bum. Something with a lot of files would be Maven. Integration tests, HB, refs, heads, master. It's not tests, it's testing. Right, tree. Sweet. Tree. Test. Java. Tree. Okay. This guy has a lot of directory entries. We get the whole lot. Okay. So, what we want to do is we want to get the tree for, what happens if I take out this F? Does this give me, stop with the H. That gives me the root. So if I go with tree, that will give me the root, and I just need to get the parent. Okay. So, right. So we want this to be the tree URL. So we need HB or F. Now, HB is that, set F, get, no, get path. Will never end in dash. So it's going to including the path portion. All right. So we need first of all to get path. Get path. Right. Okay. Int last slash path last index of slash. Right. So last slash -1 question mark null colon path substring 0 last slash. There. So that's tree URL. There. Let's see what we get. So we're going to parse the tree URL. We want tens of seconds. Now, we need to know what this is. So class list, So tr class list, and there's a name. Now, what about this guy? Mode, inspect. Core suite is name. So we probably can determine the type based on this. We might need to do some inspection on the mode, for example, to determine symbolic links. Mode. Well, let's have a look. Git tree. Right. Entries. References. Use file name. Snapshot links. For each line entries, parse ls tree line. Git print tree entry. That's what we're after. So mode string 0400. Oh no, that's not what we're after. Git print tree entry mode string t mode. Parse ls tree line. Right. Mode. It seems to be. Anyway, so we know we're looking for the mode and the list, and we want the A in there. So what's this in? Page body table tree. Okay, tree tr td class list. List a dot list. Right. We need the mode as well. Anyway, for elements, elements, element text equals get name. Now, element dot parent. So parent should be the td dot previous sibling. Previous sibling. Now we're dancing. So previous sibling should be size. Next one should be class. So I wonder, can we do? All right. So that should be this guy. Previous. We want previous element sibling. Element sibling. Right. Mode. Right. If mode dot text, mode, text starts with D turn type directory, else if mode text starts with hyphen turn type dot file, and now let's return type non-existent. So this one here should be doing that. Now this list children, we can kind of work this one out. While we're at it. So in this case, we want to do, this is going to be get pat. We don't need that slash or last slash. And now for element thingy. Right, we need the results list file result. List result. Yeah. Let's result add new child element text. False. True. And last modified. Can we do anything on last modified? Let's look at these guys. Last modified, we can't really do much with. Let's leave it as 0 for now, and let's see where we're at. So at this point, we should now be able to actually discover branches again, discover the Jenkins file correctly, and it'll even do a lightweight checkout of the Jenkins file, which we should be able to show. So that kind of gives us all the functionality, and then the next thing we need to do is to tidy it all up, give it some tests, give it some robustness, and some making pretty. But at this stage, we should have something that actually is kind of doing what we want. So here's Jenkins up and running. It's fully up and running. Allegedly. Right, so it pops up. Now, there is no Jenkins file on Maven 221, so we shouldn't find Jenkins files there. Let's scan the multi-branch. So, checking branches. Now, okay. Something's not quite working here because we're not finding Jenkins files. Nothing ever works first time. Always started up with debug. So let's see where we want to catch things. We want to catch the type. We are run breakpoints. So we don't want that one, don't want that one, we don't want that one. So you want to see what's going on here and see what is causing it to not find the file. Because most likely that's where the issue is coming from. So Jenkins should be up. here we go. So we're on path is Jenkins file, // tree URL. So this is the tree URL. A equals commit. This should be tree. This should be tree. Yes. Okay. Problem exists between keyboard and chair yet again. I feel lucky, which is why I'm not trying it with MVN debug. Copy-paste errors are, of course, the #1 cause of issues in software. And it's not that you're copying and pasting, it's that you're copying and pasting and then not making the appropriate change. Sometimes copy-paste is exactly what you want to do because you want to capture the similarity but also the difference. So in this case we have similarity in that we're doing the same kind of thing, but we should have picked up the fact that these were not commit URLs. This is a tree URL. So now let's go back here, scan little branch now, scan log, and let's see what we're getting. Checking branches. Jenkins file met. There we go. We want ones that don't find. Jenkins file not found. So we're looking good. So at this stage now, we're going to actually have the appropriate Jenkins file detection. And then checking tags. They're all not found, which is even better. And so it's removed all those branches that we discovered by accident when we were just testing. We have everything hunky-dory. Here's the tags. Let's go back to branches. And now let's go to the master branch. Now, if we look at the log of the master branch, we should find that it starts, it does the rev parse, get thing, fetches origin, fetches these sort of things, and obtains Jenkins file. So what we want to see now is that we don't do any of that, we just get the Jenkins file directly. Because we're now using that telescope and we can get the Jenkins file directly. It'll fail because the pipeline syntax is going to be using things that we haven't got installed on this one. And now we see obtain Jenkins file here, and we've now got no such DSL. So this is really good because we've now avoided one checkout from the Git repository. So we're reducing the number of clones needed of that repository. So now on the master, we don't actually have any clones needed. So this is fully what we need. And if we actually go back up here to this test, here, if you remember here in the organization folder level, we were checking without doing this. So at this point, if I scan the organization folder now, and we look at the scan organization folder log, we should wander down here, and we can see here we're doing this without going to any remote repository at all. We just check there's one branch that happens to have the Jenkins file, and we processed it, and query complete. So that gives us the best criteria. Here it checks some branches for surefire, and as soon as it finds a branch with a Jenkins file, it knows that one is a valid repository, and so we actually get all this in one go. I need to look into why that checking branches there has the pause. I suspect it's something to do with us loading up the tags and other things, and we might be able to make that a bit more lazy, but nonetheless, I think we're in good shape. So this is all avoiding a checkout. So we're just doing all this through the telescope.